Hi guys, it's Littlefoot Nursery. I wanted to do a video to chat about the Rose Doll Show. I am already so excited about next year's show, and I really enjoyed watching Herlanda's videos about how she was talking about just her excitement about going to the show next year and how, she's been watching different videos. And it's funny, I posted a lot of videos about the show, and I didn't even have a chance to go back and watch any of them. And so just like tonight, my daughter and I, our whole family actually, we were watching a whole bunch of the videos together. We watched like probably 3 or 4 of them. And and it was just so much fun. It just was like, it brought it all back for me. And I just wanted to just hop on and talk about it a little bit and maybe share just some information and some advice based on my experiences, and definitely encourage you guys to check out some of the other videos that have been already made on the topic. Like, I know Yvonne from My Little Tulip, she had an older video about her experiences from going to the show. And I think I even touched on it when I was showing some of the babies that we brought back from the show. So yeah, so I thought I would just just kind of hop on, do a quick video, and show you guys, for those of you guys who don't recognize this baby, this is baby Megan. She is the baby that I painted in the air dry paint class at the doll show, and she won second place in the class, which is really cool and special. Here's her like painted. I did painted hair for her just with simple Prismacolor pencil in the class. But yeah, it was just, anyway, so just to share with you guys, to sum up my experience going to the show, I did go for the classes. I showed up, I think the classes started on Wednesday, so I got in Tuesday night. So the air dry paint class spanned over a 2-day period, so that was Wednesday and Thursday. And then the Rose Doll Show itself, in terms of the expo, that was Friday and Saturday, and then flew back on Sunday. And then the baby shower was on Thursday night, the awards banquet was on Friday night, and the ice cream party was on Saturday night. And then the way it worked too is, you guys probably saw in the awards banquet, they give out awards for all the winners of the different contests. And for that video, my apologies, I was an hour late because I thought it started at 7 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock. So I show up at 7 and like everyone's nearly done with dinner. So it was a little embarrassing, but I did snag a spot at one of the front tables next to it, and it was a table that Susan Gibbs was sitting at, which was fun. And so anyway, and that way I could get some good footage. But the awards banquet is probably hard, it's probably not super as meaningful for those of you guys who didn't get to go and get to see the contest babies. And even for me too, having been to the doll show to see the contest babies, when they called the winners, what would have been cool is if they had shown on, like, I don't know, a slide projector. This would probably not be possible, but if they'd shown on a slide projector a photo of the baby that won, because this was a blind contest, so we only had numbers. We didn't know which artist painted which baby. And so anyhow, yeah, so given that, they would call Angela Pucca, and I was kind of like, okay, well, which babies were hers again? I mean, hers were kind of obvious because she had a lot of the ethnic babies, but for example, in like the Reborn Intermediate or Reborn Advanced, like it wouldn't necessarily be immediately obvious which baby had won, and that would be kind of cool. Like, and then because then what happened was right afterwards, they or what would be neat is instead of just right after the banquet, everybody going and just grabbing their babies and taking them home, maybe just having a period of time where everyone who's at the banquet can just go and take a look, and you have all the babies on the table, and then have the first, second, third place ribbons or whatever, next to the baby, corresponding baby. That would be cool, because for me it would be very interesting as an artist to see, like, what do they look for as they're judging these babies. And I know, of course, this is art and it's very subjective, but it would still be, I think, really helpful and really interesting to see you know, see the babies side by side, knowing what the contest results were. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents. Just in case any of the Bountiful Baby people or people who are in charge of the Rose Doll Show end up watching this video, just one collector / beginning artist's input. But anyway, so anyway, I went on a huge tangent. But the awards banquet was on Friday, and then Saturday night was the ice cream party. So, okay, so a couple things. First of all, if you are an artist thinking about being a vendor at the show and doing a table or a booth, you pretty much need to make that decision soon. You need to make that decision soon, because that once they opened up, the show this year was such a huge success that once they opened up, you know, the tables and, you know, the ability to reserve tables or booths, a lot of them are going so quickly. So I have a feeling that the vendor spots might sell out at some point. So it's definitely not a decision you can make late notice. So yeah, so I know, like, we were doing a chat with Jen over at Creative Newborns on one of her live chats recently, and I think she's going to try to see if she can, you know, do a GoFundMe style, like almost a raffle drawing to see, anyway, to see if she can raise some money to go to the Rose Show. And it would be amazing to have her be a vendor there. I love her work, and I would love to see her babies in person. But I don't know if she's going to go or not, and she probably won't be able to commit to it right away. So I'm worried that she's not going to be able to make it in time, but we'll see. She did say if she goes, she would love to be a vendor, and she also would would love to, like, maybe teach a hair painting class or something like that, which would be neat, because I know the hair painting class that Yvonne Nather teaches, I think they use Genesis, and I only want to do classes with air dry because just for obvious reasons, that's what I'm using for my babies. Anyway, yeah, so this rose onesie, in case you guys didn't see this in any of the videos, this is one of the onesies that they sold, and they have a boy version as well. And I actually have an extra girl onesie and an extra boy onesie, so maybe at some point I'll do a giveaway. Maybe once I hit, I don't know, maybe when I hit 1,000 subscribers or something, I can do a giveaway with the 2 onesies, because I have I actually bought a girl onesie and a boy onesie for myself, and then the other 2 I won on the wafer wheel when we got into the show. So, but anyhow, yeah, so, okay, so if you're an artist, definitely think about go ahead and reserve your booth, like, now. And then the other thing is, with regards to the classes, you need to also, I think the artists or people thinking of teaching a class also probably need to be in contact with them right now as well, because they are going to be looking to finalize the class schedules. And with regards to the classes, I definitely recommend taking a class. I know it's a sacrifice of time and extra time off of work. I work a really demanding job, and I have limited vacation time, even after being with this company for such a long time. We max out at 3 weeks. So I'm using, like 3 precious vacation days, a fifth of my vacation time, to go to the Rose Doll Show. But it was totally worth it. I totally want to do it every year. I don't want to have to miss a year. For 2018, it looks like it's going to be a little bit tricky, because we need to be, we have another sort of mini trip planned for the few days before the Rose Doll Show. And so I might have to actually, I'm not sure. And that's a trip where we might be driving to that place. So we'll see. But it's I'll kind of worry about the logistics later. But yeah, if you're a vendor, that's definitely what I would recommend. Look at maybe booking your table or booth soon, and also thinking about the classes if you wanted to teach a class. So the other thing that I would, so let's go to the perspective of being a collector. And if you're a collector, even if you're not, like, necessarily interested in, like, really being a hardcore artist and, like, making tons of babies and selling them on eBay and stuff like that, but you always were curious, like, to, like, understand the process and want to know what it is like to paint a baby, I highly recommend taking one of the classes. They actually have a class for beginners, which I actually thought of taking, except that one does use Genesis. And share air dry class, you know, is fine if it's fine if you're a beginner for that one too. So you can totally take that class without any prior knowledge. I did inquire about that when I had signed up. So I would definitely think about taking a class, but if you can't take a class, that's okay too. You know, the real show, the show starts on Friday. So if you're not going to take a class, you could arrive in on Thursday. And I think the baby shower is a can't miss event. It is such a hoot. And they gave away so many babies, so many prizes. The games were crazy fun. You know, there's that game with small packages, like small things all kind of wrapped together, and then you had to unpeel the layers and roll the dice and pass it around the table. That was so much fun, and quite a lot of people won free reborns that were like beautifully done. So, and you know, of like the latest sculpts. So that was so amazing and so cool. So that's something that I would definitely recommend, like not missing the baby shower. If you are like kind of thinking, gosh, the cost of a mini combo pass is kind of steep, and they have unfortunately, or a full combo pass, they have raised the prices, unfortunately. So I did notice that I think for this year, the mini combo pass is $149 and the full combo pass is $199. That was for 2017. But if you look at 2018, the full combo pass I think is now $239. So they've raised it by, you know, $30, and then the or $40. Sorry, yeah, $40. And then the, you know, mini combo pass is like $179 or something like that. So they've definitely like raised the prices on it. I did end up at the last minute, they allowed me to upgrade the mini combo pass to a full pass, and that's how I was able to get the, you know, limited edition Resin Baby by Cindy Musgrove. So Sunday, and I'll probably just go for it and buy the full combo pass again this year. I don't think that's going to sell out immediately. So, and unfortunately that you do have to pay for up front. So I think you'll be fine, like in terms of the actual passes and tickets, waiting a little bit later. You know, I don't think that's going to all sell out right away, because I think a lot of us want to secure our hotel and everything first. And speaking of that, you know, I really loved staying at the hotel where the actual event was hosted. That was the Hilton Garden Inn at Layton, Utah. I actually did call the hotel, and they said that Rose, you know, Bountiful Baby, they have not yet negotiated the rate for the for what the hotel will be. So, so anyway, so that's still to come. But usually there is a discounted rate for a special rate for the doll show attendees, and so I'm going to wait for that, and then when that comes out, then I'll book it. And the nice thing about the hotel is you don't have to pay for that up front. You can pay for that at checkout. So, you know, if you're you know, if you're on the fence about going, you know, it doesn't hurt to reserve a room, and then you can always cancel or always back out later with no penalty. So that's just something for you guys to know. I would also shop early for airfares, and you know, look at airlines that you might not normally look at. So, so Jen from Creative Newborns, so I'm just like thinking about Rose because we were chatting about it on her channel. She was talking about like, well, what, you know, how much is a flight from Cleveland, Ohio to Salt Lake City? And I think somebody, you know, had, you know, a couple comments were like, oh, you know, it might be like 700 or 800. And then while we were on the chat, I went ahead and just looked on the Southwest website, and they don't have direct flights, but they have flights where, you know, you might have to stop in one city and have a layover. But, you know, you know, it is possible to get a flight for, you know, $200 each direction, which is not bad. So that's $400 round trip, and so it might be a lot less expensive. So definitely shop around with airfares. Or for those of you guys who are in driving distance, you know, look at other options for transportation, like, you know, like taking a charter bus, or, you know, a lot of people do drive, and especially if you're a vendor, you know, and you're not too far away, driving might be easier. I think the vendors can also ship a lot of their babies and supplies and, you know, set up stuff to Bountiful Baby, and then Bountiful Baby will hold it for you, which is cool. So that's another option that you have as well. So yes, so we talked about hotel. Oh, and I will say this: the hotel, the Hilton Garden Inn, I really like. It's very convenient, and it's also nice when after you're like, talking in the lobby in the evenings and just chatting and having fun, and you realize, wow, it's like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, and yes, we were up late talking a lot of nights. Um, it's nice to be able to just literally just press the button of the elevator and just get to your hotel room. There was one gal who, she was actually like 13, and she was like hanging out with all of us, and her mom was cool. She would just like kind of like let her just hang out with us collectors, but they were staying at another hotel, so she needed to kind of get back to her other hotel and stuff like that. But the other hotels, some of the other ones nearby, I think might be less expensive, and I think one of them even includes breakfast, and it's right across the street, so it's really not like that much less convenient to not stay on site. But especially if you're on a budget, maybe look at some of the other hotels that are close by, but not at the site of the show. So that would be something else. There are also, kind of speculation and questions about, in general, they, wondering, will the Rose Doll Show ever be located somewhere else? And because the IDTNS show did change locations. They were in North Carolina, I believe, this year, and then next year in 2018, it will be in Orlando, which is actually, gosh, and here's where I wish I had more vacation time, because it would be so fun to go to Orlando, to go to the doll show there, and then also combine it with a Disney World trip. But I just don't have that much vacation time to play with, unfortunately, and we're already have a Hawaii trip planned with my in-laws for next year. We're going to try to do the Aulani Resort sometime next summer. So that'll be fun. But anyway, back to the doll show. Yes, we talked about hotels. So yeah, as a collector, definitely try to get if you're just a collector and or actually for anyone, it's good to book the hotel room early. You can wait on buying the pass. Once the class schedule is released and what are the classes that are being offered, I would try to sign up right away, mainly because the classes do have limited spots and they do fill up. So for example, Susan's silicone painting class filled up really quickly. There are a lot of other ones that also filled up really fast. Like, I'm trying to remember, what were the other ones that sold out, but quite a few of them did sell out. The Rosebuds class that Audrey took part in, with all the little girls, and and if you saw my videos on that, wow, they just really went all out and just gave the girls so many things. It was literally like better than a birthday and Christmas all wrapped up into one. So I think that the Rosebuds class, if you have a little one, is just such a fun thing to do with mother and daughter. I'm not yet sure if the whole family's going to come with me next year, just because it was kind of a lot for my husband to be watching the kids, just himself in another, just kind of outside of home, being in kind of a foreign place, with like, no additional help, like from my mom, and who sometimes comes to babysit and things like that. So that was kind of a lot for him to be with the kids for that long. But so I'm not sure if Audrey will come or the family will come with me next year, but if she does, I would definitely sign up for the Rosebud class for her again. That was awesome. And yeah, I think I mentioned in one of my videos, I think next time I would try to bring a stroller, especially if I do end up coming without the kids. I think I would definitely want to try to bring a stroller, because just to have somewhere to put the baby, and I don't know, I'm not even gonna think about which baby to bring. Who knows what my collection will look like next year, but just to have a place to put the baby, and I think the basket would be useful, like when you buy things, to have a place to store things. And I was able to use my son's stroller for that when we were at the expo. Like once I bought like little things, I just went ahead and stuck it in the basket of the stroller, so I didn't have to carry it around. So I would definitely do a stroller next time. I'm trying to think of what other tips. Oh, if you are not on part of the Rose International Doll Expo Facebook page, if you haven't joined that group, I would definitely do that, because that's where you'll get notifications of the show. And it's also fun because different people post, once the show gets closer, different people post like pictures of dolls they're going to be selling at the show, things like that. And so it's kind of fun, and that I believe they will be making announcements there. So it's a good idea to get involved. Sorry, join that page if you aren't already. And then of course, they do have a website too. I think it's just Rose International Doll Expo, or I might not have that right, but dollexpo.com, and you can just kind of check it periodically for more information. So that's those are just some of my tips, and I'm already really excited about the show for next year. And I think some of the funnest and most memorable parts of the show were not the actual show itself or the actual events, although some of the events were just so spectacular. But I loved just hanging out with other collectors, getting a chance to meet other artists and YouTubers, and it was just really, really fun. And I feel like I got to hang out with some of the ladies at Dolphin, and Jenny, who purchased the silicone prototype, Eleanor. It was so cool to get an opportunity to meet her and talk about how much both of us love and enjoy Andrea's babies. And it was cute that she decided to name her Emery May after Audrey, since Audrey is it's a portrait sculpt of Audrey. And so that was neat. And she showed me a photo of some of her babies together. She had Maggie and Emery May, and a few other babies from her collection. So that was really, really fun. And Jamie was there from Dolphin, and just the memory of her and I being first in line, ready to run into the show. She was going to make a beeline for Jackie's booth to buy a baby, and then I was making a beeline to Susan's booth to buy a couple bags. So that was a fun memory. And then of course that guy from the bar, the random guy from the bar, the dude who stopped by our group and was just because we were all sitting in a circle, hanging out in the lobby, holding our babies. And that's the fun thing about the show, because you might get some, and I'm sure we got weird stares by some people, but there's kind of strength in numbers. If you are with a group of 8 people and you guys all have your babies, it's somehow just I wasn't nervous at all being in that scenario, but I might feel more self-conscious if it were just me randomly in somewhere in Southern California, holding a baby in some public setting. I might feel a little bit more self-conscious about that. I'm not yet super comfortable taking my babies out with me everywhere, but anyway, but I'm getting braver, so we'll see. But yeah, the guy who came and had never seen reborns, how he asked us so many questions, and that was just really cool and fun. I just so wish I'd filmed that for you guys, because that he just, some of his reactions were hysterical. He was he felt the silicone baby that one of the ladies had there with her, and he was whoa, that feels real. And it was just really, really, really funny. So anyway, guys, and so back to, talking about the event tickets, I don't think you have to buy the full combo pass or whatever. It is a little pricey, but I would do it. I think all the events are really fun. I think if you're trying to save money and you are trying to pick and choose with the events, I definitely recommend the baby shower. And I think that the awards banquet, it's not, I don't want to go so far as to say that it's boring. I don't think it's boring, because it's really, really amazing to see who wins and to be there to celebrate with the winners. But again, it was not as enjoyable, because you didn't really get to see which baby won. I mean, so they did go back and, okay, no, I take that back. They did at one point say, oh, hey, if you won, go and pick up your baby and bring it up to the front of the stage. And so that was cool. So they could, so from far away, you could kind of see which baby it was, but you can't, obviously in that moment, look close up and see all the details. So that is one thing that I didn't enjoy as much about that event. And then the ice cream party was cool, just very silly games, and but I think that is also something that is a little bit more optional. So if you are, you know, like pressed on time, or you don't want to stay through to Sunday and you want to maybe leave on Saturday, I don't think you're going to miss a ton by missing the ice cream party. So those are just my 2 cents. But for me, if I'm going to go all the way out there, I'm just going to do all the events. So that'll be, you know, what I plan on. So, but yeah, comment below if you guys are planning to go to the show next year, or if you're not sure, if you have any questions, let me know. This is only my first year going, so I'm by no means an expert. There are a lot of ladies who have gone multiple years, but I just had such a blast, and it's so fun to come on here and just make a video and talk about the show. And for those of you YouTubers who weren't there this year, we missed you, and you know, YouTubers and viewers too, you know, we missed you, and I definitely think it's just a can't miss event. So we had such a blast. It was on such a dolly high for, I don't know, days and weeks afterwards. So yeah, I would definitely come, and you know, save your money. You know, bring you know, if you do come, you know, a lot of the artists do offer you know, some discounted prices off of their babies. And if you're like really on a budget, but I don't know, if you see a baby you really fall in love with the first day, I would just go for it, because that baby may not be there when you come back the next day. So that would be my advice if you see a baby you really like. But if you're kind of like, oh, I do like that baby, but the price is a little high for me, and you know, you could try your luck and wait till the second day and see if you know, the baby gets reduced. But you know, but one piece of advice too, because there are some babies that artists will offer on silent auction. You know, if you do bid on a silent auction, you know, that is a, you know, that you should really view that as a binding contract. Like Lydia Torres Esposito, she's a very talented artist who actually ended up winning quite a few awards, I think in the advanced category for, and again, I can't 100% remember if she won or if she got second, but she definitely, I think, got more than one award. And she had a gorgeous Levi, and that Levi was so cute. I was very tempted to get that Levi, even though I already have Clara. That's how cute it was. So, but he, you know, the Levi was offered on silent auction, and I think somebody had actually bid on it and then decided to back out, which really is a bummer. But then, you know, another, I won't, you know, say who got it, because just in case she, you know, wants to protect her privacy. But, you know, there was thankfully another, you know, collector who was there did, you know, kind of see that Levi was still available, and he got adopted. So that it did have a good ending, but it was just, you know, not cool that somebody bid and then decided not to move forward with the commitment. So, all right, guys, I have talked long enough. I am sure you guys are tired of hearing me ramble on and on about this, but, you know, thank you guys for watching. And for those of you guys who are new to my channel, I'm so grateful you stopped by. And I'm still pretty new to YouTube, but I love making videos. I love this hobby. I love my babies, and I'm feeling just quite content. You know, so, oh, and that's the other thing that's fun about taking the class, just to make that last comment, is, you know, you get to come home with a baby, you know, so, and I think the babies that they painted in the beginner class, the Marita Winters Blessing, if you see, you know, and I think in one of my videos, I might have had a close-up, and when I met Kelly Maple, I had a close-up on, you know, I was able to zoom in and take a look at the baby that she painted. She did a great job, and a lot of those babies turned out beautiful. So that would just be something that I want to mention. But yeah, this is Megan, and she is actually has a, you know, she has a special place in like my and Audrey's collection. She's a baby that I gifted to Audrey, you know, after the show. Audrey like really loves her. She has this little stroller, and she pushes Megan around in the stroller like all the time. And when I ask her like who is her favorite reborn, or who's her favorite baby, she says Olivia, Isla, and Megan. Like those are her 3 favorites. And so the fact that Megan is tied with 2 full body silicone babies is pretty huge. The fact, and this just shows how much she loves this baby. So that is really special to me, and I'm so grateful, you know, to be able to learn to paint these babies too, and bring joy to my daughter and bring joy, hopefully bring joy to others. I would love to make a baby for my niece. You know, she is turning, oh gosh, is she turning 5? I think my niece, no. My niece turning, yeah, my niece is turning 5. Yeah, so I was thinking of making her a reborn, maybe just a, you know, one that's a little bit lighter, you know, with a child's baby, you don't want to weight them too heavy, so maybe just weighted lighter, and I'll definitely do painted hair. We'll see if I can do it in time. I'm literally working 15-hour days at work right now, so I'm finally shooting this on kind of at the end of my work week, right before the weekend, and so, oh my goodness, work is insane right now. So, so yeah, so I have to think about, like, when I buy especially a silicone baby, like, oh my gosh, how many weeks of work, you know, or how many months of work is that, you know, to bring that baby home. So anyway, it's a little crazy right now, but I'm very grateful. And yeah, so anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the video. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, take care.